Hello everyone, hope you're all doing fine and welcome to Moto revving. In today's video, we're gonna talk about what kind of motorcycles are best for short riders. Now, if you're anywhere above 5 feet 5 inches or 5 feet 6 inches, you're most probably comfortable with any sort of motorcycles. But if you're a short rider and your height is below 5 feet 5 inches, then you're probably gonna have hard times to get your feet down on the traffic light. But that doesn't mean that you have to be extremely worried or something. Most riders with short heights have the same problem. You just have to keep some points in mind before buying your first bike. Well, today I'm going to be telling you the type of motorcycles which are good for short riders available in the Indian market. Now, I'm not going to be telling you about some specific bikes, but instead we're going to talk about three different types or genre of motorcycles and which of them are better for short riders. So let's get started. Type number 1, cruiser bikes. Well, if you're a short rider and planning to buy your first bike, cruiser bikes could be at the first in your bucket list. Why? Simply because of lower seat heights. Now, most of the cruiser bikes have a very comfortable stance or ergonomics. The seat heights are generally low and the bars are high, and that what makes the cruiser bikes special for shorter riders. Now, these days there are tons of cruiser bikes available in the Indian market. Couple of fine examples of cruiser bikes are the Enfield Meteor 350 or the Java 42 2.1 or the ESD Roadster and etc. Now almost all of these bikes have very low seat height, definitely below 800 mm. So it doesn't matter if you're a short rider, you probably won't have any kind of problem with these motorcycles. Now another aspect that you need to keep in mind is the seat width. The width of the seat also plays a crucial part in making you comfortable. The wider the seat is, the more comfortable you are. But wider seats do give you some problems getting your feet down. But since most of these cruiser bikes have tapered seats towards the tank, you're probably not gonna have any sort of problems. Type number 2, street fighter bikes. Now street fighter or commuters could also be in your list of buying, mostly because of the lightweight and the nimble handling. Weight is also a very important factor as it affects the handling of a bike. And if you are a short rider, more weight means more shit to deal with. And that's where the street fighters comes in to save the day. Now it is essential for a street fighter to be light and nimble, and saving weight helps a lot on that cause. And there are a couple of street fighters out there in Indian market which are really good for shorter riders to begin with. For example, the FZ series from Yamaha and the Gixxer series from Suzuki. Also the Bajaj's NS200 or the N250s are very good examples of that. The weight of these motorcycles are relatively light and the seat heights are ample. Now there are lots of other 125cc and 150cc commuter bikes out there which are good. But if you want some good amount of performance out of your first bike, well, these bikes are your best bet. So street fighters are easy to live with even for shorter riders. Especially the bikes I've talked about are all very lightweight and very down to earth. Type 3, sports bikes and ADVs. Now these two types of motorcycles are genuinely a pain in the ass for shorter riders. Now if your height is anywhere less than 5 feet 5 inches, you're going to have some kind of problems riding these motorcycles. Because if you compare a seat height of 760 mm of a cruiser with the mammoth of a seat height of 835 mm of a sports bike, you understand the difference pretty quickly. Sports bikes and ADVs bikes generally have a very tall seat heights. If we talk about some beginner sports bikes of Indian market like the R15 or the RC200, the seat heights of those bikes are 815 mm and 820 mm respectively. So those are pretty tall seat height numbers. Same goes with ADVs, like the Suzuki V-Strom has a seat height of 840 mm. Now I'm not saying that if you are a short rider, you can't ride these bikes. That's why I always recommend to go to the showroom and take a test ride to understand better. But generally sports bikes and ADVs have pretty tall seat heights. And also, most sport bikes have a very committed posture, and that also becomes a little bit troublesome for shorter riders, because you have to stretch your arms and back, and over longer distances it tires you out a lot. Now if you are a sport bike junkie and you would not settle for anything less than that, fear not. There are a couple of things you can do to be comfortable on a sport bike or ADVs. Like wearing a riding boots. Riding boots generally have thicker soles, which actually helps you to put your feet down pretty easily in traffic. Another thing you can do is to lowering the suspension setup of your bike, but I don't recommend that because it affects the handling of a bike and also compromises the ground clearance. Well, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Do hit the like and subscribe button. Well, until next time, ta-da!